Thank you for joining us for this Sunday's edition of ARIRANG News. I'm Daniel Choy here with the latest. There's a new threat from North Korea in the form of a submarine that can fire ballistic missiles. Military officials here in Seoul say it may take a year or two for the regime to complete testing the vessels, but they are already moving to counter the threat. Our Connie Kim starts us off.
In what appears to be a new threat from North Korea, Pyongyang has reportedly launched a new submarine capable of firing ballistic missiles. Government and military sources in South Korea say Pyongyang has imported a Soviet-era Gulf-class diesel submarine built in the 50s and modified it. Sources say the newly launched vessel is identical to an unidentified submarine at the Sinpo shipyard that the U.S.-based website 38 North revealed last month. The new vessel is estimated to be 67 meters long, 6.6 meters wide, and has a dive displacement in the 3,000-ton range. Adding to the concern about the new submarine is the operation of a test facility at the Sinpo shipyard that 38 North reported in October. It was reported the North has carried out dozens of tests on the ground and at sea to mount a missile tube on the vessel. A military source in Seoul says Pyongyang's new submarine will pose a threat if the North completes testing for vertical launch of missiles, estimated to take 2 years at most. To counter the threat, South Korea plans to launch 3 3,000-ton submarines with vertical missile launch tubes by 2020 and an additional 3 by 2030. Connie Kim, ARIRANG News.
South Korea has slammed North Korea for calling off a round of high-level talks over objections to anti-Pyongyang leaflets flown across the border. Seoul's Unification Ministry made the comment in response to the North's recent warning that there will be no inter-Korean dialogue unless the South Korean government stopped the leaflet campaign led by activists in Seoul. The South Korean government called the North's comments regretful and said that Pyongyang would have to acknowledge that unilateral dialogue will get the regime nowhere. South Korea proposed high-level inter-Korean talks to Pyongyang back in August, and North Korea voiced its agreement when a high-level delegation made a surprise visit to Seoul last month. Moving on to other stories, President Park Geun-hye will attend a series of regional summits in China, Myanmar, and Australia starting next week. According to her senior foreign affairs secretary, the president will be in Beijing for 4 days starting next Sunday to attend a summit of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum. From there, she will fly to Naypyidaw, Myanmar for the East Asia Summit and a summit between member nations of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations and its 3 Northeast Asian dialogue partners, South Korea, China, and Japan. She will then visit Brisbane, Australia for a summit of the G20 Advanced and Emerging Economies. The president will return home on November 17th. A record number of Chinese tourists flocked to Korea last month during their National Day holiday, and another group is expected to arrive next week. Our Kim Min-ji reports on the reason behind the unexpected visit.
With air pollution reaching hazardous levels in the capital, Beijing has granted its citizens a 6-day holiday as part of a plan to provide visitors to next week's APEC summit with some relief from the smog. Private companies will be free to use their discretion, but public organizations and schools will be shut down from November 7th to the 12th, and cars will be limited on the roads. In light of that, many citizens are planning to use the opportunity to head overseas. Tickets for flights to Korea have jumped threefold to about $1,600, and it's no different for destinations like Japan or Hong Kong. But the price hasn't put potential tourists off, with nearby overseas destinations almost fully booked.
Tickets to Korea or Japan during the break have all been sold out.
This mini holiday comes just a month after China's National Day holiday in early October. While many Chinese workers are looking forward to another week off, some have been critical of the government for not being able to come up with an appropriate plan for tackling the smog. Kim Min-ji, ARIRANG News.
Staying on the topic of tourism, a record number of Korean traveled abroad in August, but that didn't translate into higher spending, with per-person consumption dropping. According to the Korea Tourism Organization, or KTO, about 1.55 million Koreans went overseas in August. That's 9.9% more than the previous year and the highest monthly record. But the amount they spent dropped 15.4% from a year earlier to $1.8 billion. That means each person spent nearly $1,200, which is 6.7% less than last month. The KTO attributed the drop in spending to the increase in the number of people seeking budget travel options. Foreign investors hold more than half the shares in Samsung Electronics as of Friday, 52.23% to be precise. According to data from the Korea Exchange and financial sources, that's the highest proportion since June 13, 2006. In other words, an 8-year high. This comes despite the company's overall selling mode on the local stock market. Last month, offshore investors brought a net $825 million worth of Samsung shares. Market watchers say foreign investors seem to consider Samsung undervalued despite growing worries over its performance. Sir Richard Branson has expressed doubts about his latest venture. Following the recent crash of a Virgin Galactic rocket plane, he said, "We are not going to push on blindly." During a press conference on Saturday, the founder of Virgin Group reflected on how the tragic explosion will affect his dream of commercial space tourism. He said if they can overcome it, they will make absolutely certain that the dream lives on. On Friday, Virgin Galactic's test craft went up in flames in the skies above California's Mojave Desert, killing one pilot and seriously injuring another. The investigation into the crash is ongoing. Islamic State militants executed more members of a Sunni tribe over the weekend in what appears to be a mass execution campaign. The leaders of the Abu Nimr tribe says that around 50 tribesmen were abducted by the Islamic State on Saturday and were likely killed in the ongoing campaign. The bodies of more than 200 tribesmen have been found in mass graves in the last week. The tribe, which is allied with the United States, is best known for standing up to Saddam Hussein at the height of his power in 1995 for executing a noted tribesman. It is believed that the late dictator feared and respected the Abu Nimr for their fighting skills. To continue fighting, the tribe will first need to gain the approval of the Iraqi government. Moving on to sports, Park Yin-bi carded a total of 22 under to win the Fubon LPGA Taiwan Championship title in Taipei on Sunday. The $2 million prize money practically had Park's name written all over it in the second round when she fired a stunning 10 under par to take the lead. The champ easily overcame strong winds to win her third LPGA crown this season, cementing a world #1 ranking, which she snatched from America's Stacey Lewis on October 27th. The world #2 had to settle for the #2 spot again, this time behind Park in this tournament as well. Weather. The onset of cold weather often means more people will be catching cold. Well, if you're looking for a natural remedy for fending off the sniffles this winter, drinking tea is apparently a good start. Our Son Jang-in reports on what kinds of herbal teas are the most effective.
The breezy, chilly weather at the beginning of winter makes people want to reach for a soothing cup of herbal tea. They don't just warm the body and mind, but also come with healing benefits.
I drink organic tea because unlike coffee, it has a soft flavor and gentle aroma that suits the cold weather well.
Herbal teas also help protect the body during cold season by maintaining a normal body temperature. They can also be a great source of vitamins and minerals.
In the winter, herbal tea can give your body extra moisture to stay healthy. Teas made from dried jujube, mugwort, honey, and ginger are most effective during the season.
Dried jujube tea helps ease insomnia, while ginger and cinnamon tea are great for preventing colds. Green tea can benefit those with weak hearts, and chrysanthemum tea is ideal for people with weak livers. It is also important to keep the water at the right temperature when brewing the leaves or dried fruit.
Herbs of low fermentation like green tea should be steeped in water lower than 70 degrees Celsius to avoid a bitter taste. Teas with high fermentation like black tea should use boiling water to get a better flavor.
And to really get the full benefits from drinking herbal tea, experts advise that you steep the leaves long enough to really bring out all the healthy properties. Son Jang-in, ARIRANG News.
It would be wise to check out which tea agrees with you and stock up on it. It seems autumn days are numbered here in Korea. Those in the central region can expect the daytime lows to plummet to as low as 2 degrees Celsius this week, with highs of 16. And now let's check out the weather conditions in your neck of the woods and around the world. And that does it for us for now. Thank you for watching. There's more coming your way on ARIRANG at 10 p.m. Korea time, so do join us then.